Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, a warm welcome to this session at the 20th MAPIC. And in the next minutes, we're going to talk about a revolution. It's the omni-channel revolution that we're talking about, and I'm very happy to have great experts on stage. And I must say, I learned a lot already during our telephone calls and quick meetings that we had before. So I think it's going to be an interesting session. And let me inform you what we will do. In the next 45 minutes, I'll give you a very quick introduction of our panel. And then I have asked our panelists to give us a 60-second statement about their idea of omni-channel. And then we'll discuss a few questions, see a short video, see some slides, and we're happy to use the last 10 minutes of the session for a Q&A with the audience. More people are coming in. Now we're almost 200. So, warm welcome. I start with Sana. Sana is Director for Strategy and Insights. Everybody is interested in strategy and insights. She's an expert for optimization of marketing programs and strategies, has worked in Europe, in the United States, and is giving a lot of lectures, has written a lot of articles, and I'm very, very excited to learn everything about the consumer, about social media, and luxury retailers. Sana is working for Epsilon, and happy to have you here, Sana. Welcome.
Thank you.
Eduard Detail, he's Marketing and Communication Director for Hammerson, and he has quite an interesting career. He was working for Universal Music. He is also a professor at the Business School of Catch, and now he will tell us a lot of interesting things about their newest investment in France, about the shopping center Les Terrasses du Port in Marseille. And Hammerson is definitely one of the top 10 leaders in retail real estate in Europe, so I think we can learn a lot from Eduard. A warm welcome.
Thank you.
And Guillaume, I must say, I looked into your LinkedIn details and comments, and one of that was very exciting because someone was writing, he is definitely the expert for IT strategies for retail companies. And I think there are quite some retailers who could have a new strategy. So we're very happy to hear what you explain. He's working as a technology trend manager for Échangeur, and he has also worked for Auchan, so many experience, and I'm happy to have you in our discussion.
Thank you.
Before we start with the quick statements, I want to introduce myself. My name is Stefan Jung. I'm Director for Shopping Center Investment for Savills, also Chairman of the Retail Innovation Group in ICAC Europe and co-publisher of Across magazine. And yeah, what does omni-channel mean? And I don't know if you can summarize it very quickly. Would you like to give a quick statement what you think about omni-channel and the retail revolution, Sana?
Sure. So I would really call it a paradox. I think that today there are new ways to communicate with the customer in a timely and relevant manner. In many ways, much more than ever before. However, with the digital explosion, with an access to a lot of data, it has made it much more complex for marketers, brands, retailers to communicate with their customers. So my role at Epsilon is to simplify everything. As a consultant, I work with retailers, I work with brands to help them understand their market, their customers. If I have to summarize it very quickly, the first step would be to help them to connect. So who are my customers? How can I segment them? How can I engage with them? So that would be working on the content strategy. Potentially how to retain them and reactivate them. And with all this, it's very important to measure everything, measure and optimize. So how can we leverage data and measure on an ongoing basis to optimize our marketing campaigns?
Okay, thank you, Sana. Eduard?
Yes, so I would maybe add for omnichannel, one specific thing is that when you are a visitor, omnichannel means that you are using two channels, for example, at the same time. You could be in a store using your mobile phone, or you could be in the shopping center with a touch screen and using as well your mobile phone. So you use at the same time different channels, and the objective, like you said, is to make it simple. So the content has to be recognizable from your mobile to the tablet, for example, or inside the shop. So you need to find out the same area online and offline. That's omnichannel. So you need to merge all of that together.
Yeah. Guillaume, what is your interpretation of omnichannel revolution?
Yeah, for me, omnichannel is evident. The best practice in all over the world, I think it's Neiman Marcus. I don't know if people know Neiman Marcus. It's a famous brand in USA. It's quite interesting because imagine you are checking some product on your website. Okay, you don't know, you check specific clothes, and you can connect it with your application. You get your clothes you are imagined to wear, and when you go inside the store, you have a specific checking when you go inside the store by high beacon. Perhaps we'll talk. And the seller say, "Oh, Guillaume Rio just come here." He checked several clothes on the website, and the guy, the seller, say via an iPad or anything else, he called me, "Hey, Guillaume, come to me. I know you are hesitant between both products. Come to me, join me. Thanks to geolocation, I am here, and follow me, and I will explain you what will be the best suit for you."
Okay, good. So, yeah, omnichannel. We think the client is switching between the retail, real estate, and the virtual world. He wants to change all the time. He wants to have it convenient and fast. And this really leads us to the next question. Has the behavior of our visitors changed, and has technology really disrupted our industry? I mean, we're talking about disruptive innovation. That means something could be destroyed, but something new is coming. Or is it just an evolution? So revolution or evolution, is it disrupted? What does the customer expect? What do you think?
I think it's a real positive evolution. Right now things are going very fast, and we need now to make sure that anything that you do, anything that you develop is connected. So for us, in terms of, if I talk for Emerson, it's a great opportunity to develop the capacity to create traffic and turnover through the digital. So anything that can be connected and in an omni-channel strategy is positive. The only thing is that for that you need to be connected. That means that in terms of techniques, you need industrial platforms, strong, scalable, and you need to control your content So you need a strategy around that. And you need people, but people that are specialists to animate all of that. So I don't know if you want to add something.
Yeah, omnichannel it's a new term. It's useful to, but omnichannel could be positive, but it could be a danger for you. We will talk further, but for me, the main challenge, the next challenge for us, for everybody, is don't be disintermediated by another one. And what I mean by another one is like Google, Apple, but we will talk further. Apple, Amazon, Facebook, they know everything about data, the location, etc. For them, it's a good tool. They provide you for free some Wi-Fi for now. They're cool, but I will talk further what they mean by that. But
just one thing about the Google Wi-Fi. They did some tests to propose Wi-Fi inside shopping centers. That's the start of the end for us. So for us, we've been saying, no, we are going to invest in those platforms, the Wi-Fi, because we need first to have the control and then to be able to collect this data. Sorry.
But I think behind this, I can get it. But then I try to invest airport, it's free, and they want to change consumer past journey. But it's a next step.
We even have a lot of cities who say we provide Wi-Fi everywhere for free. Is that something that the consumer expects today, Sana, to have it easy, convenient everywhere?
Sure, and going back to your question and really to emphasis on the impact of the omnichannel, I think that today it's a huge challenge for brands and marketers. Really, with all the clients that I've worked with, I don't think that anybody is ready for omnichannel, to be honest. And when you talk about technology, it's multiple technologies. It's not just one technology. So if you think of your own company, you probably have multiple databases. You probably have multiple technologies to connect with their customers. So if it's an app, if it's iBeacon in store, things like that. So how do you connect everything together? How do you install a single customer view? And it's not just implementing a CRM, it's also changing your company culture to make sure that all the services are in line with your strategy. And this has to come from the top. I know that it's obvious. I'm probably stating the obvious. You've heard it many times, but it's very, very difficult to implement. So this is really how I see it and how it works. However, for the customer, they just don't care. They don't want to know how complex it is with your company. So really what they want is something that is flexible enough, something that is easy, something that is accessible, and
that works.
Yes, exactly. So yes, wireless, it's definitely something that customers want. I am still surprised when I go to hotels and I have to pay for wireless, something that is now a commodity, and it's some hotels are still, because they're hotel chains and things like that, you have to pay for this service. It's not how it works anymore. So they're not in line with what I want as a customer. And we also need to remember as marketers that, or as brands or as retailers, that we're also customers. So think of your own pain points when you go to a store, when you visit a shopping center. What do you like? What don't you like? And really try to replicate it in your company.
So can we say the new client expects to have this everywhere? It should be easy, convenient,
I wouldn't say everywhere, but I would say where it's convenient for him.
Convenient, yeah, sure.
All right. That leads us to the question: what do we think are the cities, the retailers, and the property owners or center managers? Are they fast enough? Are they moving into the right direction, or do they need to speed up things?
For sure, they have to speed up things because, as I said, there is many new actors. We talk about tech titans, Google, etc. For your information, tech titans, it's Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, hold 80% of web information. It's amazing. 4 companies, okay? Now they want to get inside the brick and mortar, and they want to provide, besides the digital wallet. I don't know if you're aware about it, but digital wallet, it's a payment processing, okay? We talk about for many years, but I don't know if I've got some slide or...
Maybe you can come back a little bit later, because I think technically we have something before, but absolutely this is very important. And when we talk about brick and mortar, is the question is, Eduard, when Hammerson is doing the development of a shopping center, it takes years until you launch a shopping center and then you manage it. Is the construction industry and the shopping center industry flexible enough to do all those things that the customer expects? How do you deal with it? Do you do research? Do you ask your customers what they expect when they visit your shopping centers throughout Europe?
I think right now they are much more flexible than before. Also because, as you said, it has to come from the top. So if the people from the top, they don't believe or they don't want to go there, you cannot do anything. So as long as you have someone that gives you not the rights but the possibility to do it, then the first step is the technical side. If you don't have the technique, you cannot do anything. So you have to have the head of the IT. For example, at Emerson, he's my best friend. And that's very important. If you put him in a room and myself in another room and you ask some questions, I'm saying that because some people from the company said that to me, we give the same answer. So which is very important and also very nice for me in terms of marketing and communication, as well as him. So first, the technique. And the techniques comes at the start. Because it's quite costly, it's quite expensive. And then you need, and then that's the work of the marketing, you need to think about your product. The product, what is your product? And then what is your brand? The name of the shopping center, the story around that. Because all of this positioning will help you to build your content, the content strategy. Then you need to build a strategy, a community management strategy, let's say, because you need community to make you the launch of your shopping center a success. But that doesn't come a few months before, that comes years before. So you need to get into the life of the city, you need to get to know the people that are influencers, and then you need to build those little teams of influencers through the community manager that you have in your team, which is a revolution for real estate. You have to hire a community manager. What is that? So when you have to explain to an asset manager what is a community manager, that's something. Now it's okay, but it was quite difficult. So it takes years to do that. And now I would say that we are more flexible. But as you said, Guillaume, we are not fast enough. We need to go fast. And to go fast, you need people that make the right decisions.
Sana?
Yes, I think it's very true, and I think that companies are still very much working in silos, and we need to break these silos to go faster.
Let's stay a little bit in the most powerful valley of this world, in Silicon Valley. When we talk about Google, let's talk about Facebook. You probably know that Mark Zuckerberg has a nice quote in his office when you enter the headquarters, and this one says, "Done is better than perfect." So he motivates his people to be fast. And 1 month in Silicon Valley is like a decade in our European world. So they are really moving so fast, and they have project teams, and they are very, very open-minded. Everybody is connecting with everyone. So is that something when you work with Google that you also feel that they are really speedy, that they are driven by let's make progress, let's start even if you only have 90% of information to do a new project? Try and error, is that something that is accepted? Should we do that as well?
I think I would approach it in a different way. What does fast mean in terms of KPIs for your company? Is it an open rate? Is it click rate on your website? Is it conversion? I would really see it as that. So let's say that I'm working with an IT company at the moment, and they have a very, very sophisticated way to display ads on websites that are completely targeted to you. But then they're not very reactive in sending you a follow-up email to make you drive this conversion. So what's the point of having targeted campaigns if you're not able to follow up and drive the conversion? So in that sense, I would say that fast is your conversion rate. And so really, I insist on the KPIs because at the end of the day, you're here to make more business, right? To drive more sales. So it's really what do you want to measure? What's your objective, and what do you want to measure? So yes, going fast is great, but what do you want to achieve?
Yeah. Going fast is true, but as I said, it's their mantra is test and learn. They launch many products, digital wallet, Amazon Dash, Amazon Delivery. They test. If it works, they go on. If it doesn't work, they switch to another project. Google, I think, they are now focused on a specific sector. They are thinking about ecosystem. It's quite interesting. It's quite freezing for a retailer. They don't mind. They are not focused on we have to be the best for digital wallet, for the shopping center, etc. They launch many projects about health, about, as I say, test and learn.
Test and learn. Yeah. Let's learn about something from Emerson. We have prepared a very quick video because talking about a new shopping center in Marseille is okay. Seeing it is much better. Can we have the video and have a look at your shopping center in Marseille? Wow, Eduard, thanks for bringing this video.
It's a quick one.
I don't know how you feel, ladies and gentlemen. I've got the feeling that I would like to go there to see it.
You should.
It's an amazing seafront, and it gives a good feeling. And the opening was in May.
Yes.
And you're already awarded in the top 10 lifestyle apps in the country. So what have you done to achieve that and to attract so many people?
Like I said, it's a long story. So it started in 2004 with the first real estate company called From Invest. I worked there actually, and then for those past years, in 2009, Hammerson bought the project, and then really worked hard on the positioning, the brand, etc. So that's a lot of years of work. And that's the first success, is to be part of the city, the life of the city. Sandra Chalinet, who is managing director of this shopping center, had been really part of the life of this shopping center. So the first good point is from Emerson to hire this person very early to be part of that. And also what we've been launching there is our first platform I was talking about, with this IP infrastructure. What is this? It's a, if you have to summarize it, it's a fiber that is all around the shopping center, and everybody is connected to this fiber. Even Clear Channel, who's having those digital boards, they have to be connected to this channel. And then all of that is connected to one data center, so in the cloud, and that's where we gather all the information, the data, etc. And that was a good start for us to develop then all the services, like the app. The app was in the top 10 because we built this story, because we said we won't buy any fans on Facebook or whatsoever. And if you check online the figures, they are not, they are public. Anybody could check it. They are very impressive. So it's really, really motivating, this type of results. I think for the industry, for the teams, for everybody. I think the digital is a new, not new, but is a world where we have a lot to do still. But we need people. We need people to work and specialists to work on that. So the figures were really, really appreciated, and that's also how those head of, like at Emerson, the directors and presidents, then they want to go further. And then we are going to be, I hope, able to share all of this data that we collect with the tenants as much as we can. Like I know your life through Facebook.
Yes, absolutely. So I think this is really something for best practice if we want to have a look at the shopping center. Sana, on the retailer side, you're also a kind of luxury industry expert, and I understand you're a big fan of Burberry. What can we learn from them? Are they also best practice and really top of the list if we talk about omni-channel?
Yes, definitely. I think that if we were talking about Burberry like 5 years ago, no one would have thought a second that they would have been so advanced in terms of online marketing and digital. And really, the way they approach, well, they're very much customer-centric. Comparing to other luxury brands with whom I work, Burberry is not my client. It's really a best practice example for me. But I was talking to one of my clients 3 years ago in the luxury industry, a huge brand that I can't name, but believe me, a huge brand. And I was telling them, you need to be ready for e-commerce. And they were like, oh no, never. We are a luxury brand. People come to our boutique. They're not interested in buying online. And they launched their e-commerce website this year. So really, even in the luxury industry, it's changing fast in the way they address their customers. And Burberry is a great example. So here I've put some photos. On the left-hand side, it's an email that was addressed to a person in my team. Her name is Lisa Mann. And in the bottle, you have her initials. So the email was really personalized. So you feel the luxury example in an email. How great is that? Really, email is not necessarily sexy. They made it sexy as a luxury brand for you, and you feel already embraced by the brand. Then there's this connection between offline and online. How many times I found myself, because I'm really an online shopper, but then how many times I found myself buying things and wanting to give them back in store, for example, and brands are like, oh no, we can't take it back because our online shopping is completely disconnected from our stores. It's very different at Burberry. You can buy your product online, collect them in store. You can select products online, come to see them in store, and then buy them online. It's really really flexible about that. And then they have opened a year ago or a couple of years ago their flagship store in London. And if you have a chance to go to London, please visit their store. It's absolutely amazing. I think that they were able to replicate the Apple experience. And what I call the Apple experience is you go to a store, you buy something for a very significant amount, a high price, but you don't feel the pain of having spent, $1,000 because you almost don't have to take your credit card. They know your name, they recognize you, they have your email address, and you're very happy to buy something that was really expensive without even realizing that you just made a purchase. So that's the case at Burberry. You sit on a couch, sales representative come to you, they recognize you, and you've just made a purchase. And that's really what I find fantastic about them.
So it's very professional, and they connect all the different worlds together. And I'm sitting in an innovation jury, and I've just seen that the Burberry store in London that you've just mentioned is in the discussion for such an award. So I think they are doing it very well. Let's talk about the unpleasure part of shopping, about paying. And you said you even don't recognize it, and you still have a great experience. Guillaume is, I think, one of the IT strategy experts. And let's talk about a second about the digital wallets.
Yeah.
Is it something that really changes something in the store, or is it just the end of a process where people buy something anyhow?
Yeah, I think, right, I got my slide. Digital wallet, I would like to define what is a digital wallet. And we talk about simplify, experience client, etc. Digital wallet, it's one application with 10 main functionality. Over many years ago, we talked about payment by mobile phone, but it doesn't work. Now, the main goal for many actors is to hold 10 main functionality like loyalty, scan, in-store price comparison, shopping list, store location, payment, mobile commerce. It's one application. Will make you easier in your shopping life, okay? And there's many new technology we help to develop this kind of technology, like beacon or like NFC, like video analytics. Now inside the store you can know everything about your customer, what kind of gender, age, average, if you take the product, take over, etc. You can know many things, and you are under control. Okay, we can know how many people go in front of your store, which kind of people will watch what kind of product, etc., etc. You can mix NFC, beacon, Wi-Fi, Warframe, etc. And in digital water market, I think it's the next step for Tech Titan. As I said at the beginning, Tech Titan hold 80% of your personalized data on the website, but they want more. They want to go inside the brick and mortar, and it's via the digital wallet. And I think the next step, it's Apple Pay. Everybody, I think, in the room heard about Apple Pay launch 1 month ago. For now, it's only about payment. Okay, you can pay with specific retailer, you can with specific bank provider, but Apple Pay, do you know Passbook? Passbook, you can digital all your own loyalty card. You can digitalize all your airport boarding. They know everything about you. And I think the next step for them is to mix in one application your business data and your personal data. You will get a personal life assistant, and I show you this just for conclude about tech titans. Google, Samsung, Apple, Amazon, Facebook got their own device, mobile phone. They know where you are. They've got social network. They got smart things. It's the next big step for industrial. You know about smart thing, Nest, etc. They are introduced in your home. API, public as service. If they mix all this kind of data, because we talk about data, but Google, Apple know how to structure the data. They can analyze. Because we are shopping more, we've got many data, but what can I do with this? This guy or these companies can mix all this kind of data from your home, from your mobile, from your payment, from your loyalty use. And I think, for me, it's my opinion. Tomorrow, you will get a personal life assistant. Digital wallet is the first step for them. Next step is a personal life assistant. And I think perhaps tomorrow, if I ask to Sana which bank you use or insurance, to me, no, I have no bank. I'm proud for Google ecosystem. And yes. They want to, in several words, they will spread some specific ecosystem and for simplify your life. It's a mantra.
So we'll see a lot of changes there, a lot of questions as well, and questions are also allowed from the audience. So if you have questions, just get ready to ask them, and you have really excellent experts on stage. So we're happy to answer the questions, and we've got a microphone. Thank you.
Could you please share with us maybe a best practice in terms of omnichannel organization? To make it happen, what is needed to make it right? Omnichannel organization, if you could share with us. Omnichannel organization.
What do you mean by organization?
I mean company organization, inside the company, how to organize, how to avoid silos, how to avoid internal barriers, so what is needed to make it happen?
I think that there's no typical organization, but you need to understand your technology, and you need to make people to start talking to each other. So it's really define an objective. The way we typically work is really help companies to embrace the technology and make the connection. So it's, you collect multiple data about your customers, but which data do you really need to target them? So this is the first decision to make in of course, with your marketing objectives. And then, as Edouard just said, it's also making the marketing director talking to the IT director. It's really making sure that they're talking the same language, because now marketing is becoming more analytics and more technical. So it's really how to make this connection between them. But I don't think that there's a typical organization. Companies are acting very differently, and so there's no white or black answer to your question.
Something to add? Edouard?
I would give you an example about Emerson. It's about people. When you believe, like I do, in the digital and how positive the market can become thanks to the digital for us, then they want to know more about it because they see you very excited, very positive, and you need to be everywhere. Like every day you need to go and talk to them, and you need to be very close. Anybody is close to you online. You can check, you Googleize anybody. So it's same. You need to be very close to everybody. Like myself, I was always going and talking to all the people that were in the team. Otherwise, nobody will fight for digital, will be part of it. That's why the community and all of that is very important. And that's why I agree about there is no best practice. Each company, they have their culture. You need to respect it. There is a culture at Amazon. There are values. And I can tell you that the values are right. And that's how you need to develop your business. And
it's also put yourself in your customer's shoes. I'm always surprised to see sometimes communications that are sent by companies that don't look nice. The message is too heavy. And really, what do you like as a customer? Richard Branson from Virgin is a great example. He calls call centers of his own companies, and he pretends that he's a customer. So now, sometimes they recognize him, but he really puts himself in his customer's shoes.
So, just to finish, Sana said something before that is very important. Nice and simple. So the shopping center you saw is nice. But also what we've been developing is simple. We tried to make it simple. It has to work, but it has to be simple. So same if you want to, in your organization, to make it accessible. If I start talking technical, you lose everybody. If I start talking simple, accessible, then they go into it. And then they will learn more and they will maybe practice it. So that's
Okay, thanks a lot. Do we have more questions from the audience? We have 3 minutes left. If not, I would have a challenging question for our panel to learn about something what inspires you. If I would give you the chance to have a dinner with a person that you can pick from all over the world, who would you go out for dinner to have an inspiring, innovative, revolutionary dinner? Sana, any idea?
A lot. Really, I would say that the client that I work with inspires me a lot, and that's already great. But one person that I've never met, and I have a lot of questions to him, is Tom Hessis. I'm sorry if I mispronounce his name. He's the CEO of Zappos in North America, and he was the first person to sell shoes online. His company has been acquired by Amazon recently, and I'd like to ask him what is holacracy, so this new management style, and how he implemented it. So I've read articles recently that it wasn't as easy as he pretended it to be, but I have a lot of questions to him.
Sounds very interesting. Sounds like an interesting dinner. Eduard, any idea?
I would ask Larry Page, you know, the boss of Google. You talked about Google, and I think this is a big challenge for a real estate company. I would ask him what are the priorities of Google and maybe why. So we can maybe try not to be eaten too hardly. But
perhaps we'll be together
at least to understand the ecosystem you were talking about. So we need to understand the ecosystem, because if one day we talk with Google, at least we will know a little bit what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Guillaume?
Perhaps we'll go to the same dinner with Larry Page.
Okay.
But no, another guy I would like to meet, it's Jeff Bezos, because he never talked about his strategy. He launched so many things. It's really the test and learn, and I would like to share with him what he's think about the future, but it's quite interesting, I think.
All right, so quite a difficult homework for me to arrange those dinners, but I will do my very best to do it. Thanks a lot for joining this session. We hope it was interesting for you, and we're all around for discussion. We wish you a great MAPIC. Have a wonderful evening and good meetings and safe travels. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.